Hello again. Bachelord Patrick back again for the second part of our stream. It is about 10 o'clock at night. So, we are going to move on to another game, and the game we are going to move on to is a game that is somewhat dear to me. It's a lovely game that allows you to build customized buildings and to form a village and fight deadly enemies and even meet traders and trade with them. That's right, we are going to play Stonehearth. Yeah, you thought I was going to say RimWorld, didn't you? Unfortunately, that's a $30 price tag I cannot afford, so, at least not at this time. But maybe in the future if they have a sale or something. But that, of course, is part of the reason why I also have the Patreon link. If you like my commentary style, or lack thereof, you might consider tossing a few shillings my way, and maybe. But, of course, if you like Stonehearth, then, my friend, you are in for a treat this evening. I suppose. And I'm in for a treat this evening too, because, again, I do love this game. Part of the great fun of it is being able to build buildings, and just base them off of things, models of things, and what have you. Now, unfortunately, this game, it was being updated by a very dedicated team who, if you read the history of them, they did not know what they were getting themselves into. They did not expect building a real-time strategy village-building game to be this involved, but apparently it is. So what they've produced is beautiful, but then they were absorbed by another company. I guess they sold it or something. And this company wants them to wrap up their work, so it's not quite complete yet, not according to their roadmap, but it's going to be wrapped up sooner rather than later, so it's not going to have all the features that they promised they would have, but it still has tons of features, and I'm absolutely enamored with what they've done so far with it. It is an absolutely breathtakingly good game thus far, especially the city building thing. And they've really overhauled the building layout, the building tools that they've got here. Actually, do I want to continue with this one? Well, I guess I'm going to. Even though this is not an ideal map to show off, but, yeah, I will show some buildings that I've pre-made already, that I've based upon, designs that I've seen on the internet. Because when I saw these guys and the way they build their houses, I was really thinking, this needs to be log cabin style stuff, but not just any. Russian log cabin style stuff. So if you are tired of the whole pioneers with coonskin caps and rifles thing, and it just needs a slight twist on it, maybe this is what you want. Maybe what you want is the dacha and the izba. This is what they look like when completed. Not that thing. That thing I'm building because I need bed space very badly. But I designed these buildings, believe it or not. Not with the ladders on them. They're not supposed to. Ah, but we have a trader. Let us talk with him. See what he's got for sale. Give me just a second. Thank you. So he's got that. Do we have anything that we could give him? We do. Let's sell some things then, because we don't need all this. If if I'm not mistaken, actually intended to keep those. I'm just gonna sell a few things because I don't need gold that badly at the moment. Various seeds, we've got spools of thread, that's great. Snow poppy flowers. Keep the coon pelts. Actually, no, we will sell those. To just get some gold. I'll keep that mason's chisel and that stone maul. Sell all the juniper logs. Alright. He doesn't really have anything that we want or need at the moment. I mean, we'll get wooden lanterns sooner rather than later, hopefully. The real draw of this game, though, I mean, more than it's kind of like Minecraft, but with a city building element that I've wanted in Minecraft for so long. Okay, and is this Dhaka finished? I think it's finished. Yes, it's done. As you can see up here in the corner. Alright. Meanwhile, this Isba, they're taking their sweet time building it. But that's alright. We don't need a stinking roof on here. No, sir. What's that? Shut that off. Okay, there we go. They're working on the chimney for the oven, you could say. It's supposed to be modeled after an oven. You know, though, I think I am going to pause the Isba and focus on building these temporary sleeping quarters. Because our people really need beds badly. As you can see, I've got all these crafting workshops out here, and that will not do. I've got to get places to put things. Speaking of putting things, you can place random bits of furniture pretty much anywhere you'd like, and you rotate them with the period and comma keys. If you press the R button, which some people would associate with rotate, you get this to happen. But don't do that unless you have invaders. There's no point in doing that unless you have invaders. Now, how's this granary coming along? I would like to know how it's... It looks almost done, but not quite. There's still a lot. And as you can see, you can change how the building looks. You can change what you can see. You can change how much of the wall you can see, for instance. It's kind of got a Sims element to that in that respect, you see. And you can also flatten the walls entirely. No, when the fellas who made this did their work, they obviously really did their work, because they successfully combined pretty much every genre I can think of that deals with buildings and people. Like, where buildings are essential. As buildings surely are here. I mean, this is like RimWorld with Minecraft, with The Sims. I mean, let me show you some of the more Sims elements of it. For instance. Okay, so you've got all these people here. Now, I've named all these myself. Except Luna North Point here. We'll take her as a normal example since I'm... And it looks like I've left John Elliott alone as well. Okay, so... Actually, let's go to her profile here, which you can reach by going to her character sheet. Now, she has all these stats which deal with different things. And then you have all of these stats over here as well, like things that are making her happy and debuffs as well, and her relative rating, which deals with how quickly she moves about. She also has traits. In this case, she loves growing things, and she eats plants. There's all of these traits which deal with strength and with the ability to stand a fight and all that. There's equipment that you can give them too. They can also carry things. She's not carrying anything at the moment. And if you get her, and if you get a character into a line of work, they can upgrade their abilities. And finally, there's also appeal. There's beauty in the area. You see this appeal icon here, and you can see how beautiful or ugly the area is. Plants are, as you can see, breathtaking, whereas stockpiles full of random goods are not. Most things are fairly neutral, though. So that Dhaka has been built. Well, almost. One problem with the Dhaka is it requires fence posts. Now, why did I choose to include fence posts in the building of this Dhaka? You might be wondering. Well, again, it's meant to model a real-life type of building. In this case, a sort of farm, commune, summer home type dealie that they have in Russia. And in the former Soviet Union. But unfortunately, because you have to place everything piece by piece, you have situations like this, where you have the fence railings that don't quite look right because not all of them have been put in place, unfortunately. Oh well. What is that? Curtains! And this is how you grow your village. You invite people to your settlement, who can then do things for you, but you have to have food and net worth. So I will invite someone here. And I will use my random name generator in order to give him an absolutely beautiful Slavic-style name. Because you can do things like this. Just as you could in, like, in any game. And we'll call him Prokopi Karpati. I'm not exactly sure what all of the origins of those are. I picked, like, a mix, like Macedonian, Ukrainian, Russian. There's a bunch of things in there. It's a hodgepodge. I am gonna try and finish the fencing of this Dhaka, though. If it will let me. There we go. Why Russian, though, you might be wondering? Why not American? Isn't American more relatable? Don't people actually know what American is? Who the hell knows what a Dhaka is? To which I respond, well, I do. And actually, even I don't. But that's not going to matter here, because we've got, invaders approaching. So everybody flee. And where the hell are our defenders? Okay, we've got 2 defenders, and there is... what is that thing? A Varanus. And that's the smaller variety, apparently. Give me it. It's eating through Victoria here. Zombaiti. And she's got some pain. Mild pain. Which is kind of ruining her day here. I should go drink a healing potion after that, mem. Okay, and we got Varanus meat? Which is a hyper tasty meat, I guess. Okay, we'll turn alert mode off, and we got Varanus jerky and a Varanus skin, which I believe sells for more than normal. Is our granary done? I believe our granary is done. Now, word to the wise, these buildings that I've got here are not the best buildings that I could build in this game. You can build much, much better buildings than these. But I've chosen to build these on account of the fact that, you can place them down at any point in the game, and you're not going to need to wait in order to get certain ingredients. What's also good about this gonna leave those out. Actually, I will keep the tools in here, though. What's also good about designing primitive buildings, relatively primitive buildings, like log cabins and all that, is that anyone can build them at any time, and you don't have to worry. And you can still get them to look pretty civilized. I mean, these are just primitive, relatively primitive log cabin type things going on here. Oh, hello there. Seeds! That sounds extremely useful, actually. I'll get some. Berry bushes? Berry bushes produce very, very tasty fruit, which is extremely useful. Fiber bundles, silkweed bundles. I've also got some bundles. Bundles are also useful. Useful for making thread. Our tailors need that sort of thing very, very much so. So, we will buy those. And we want to be able to tailor because you can, naturally enough, make all kinds of very useful clothing. But I think that's going to be that. I will sell the Varanus meat because we can't use it at this time because we don't have a cook just yet. I'll keep the fur rugs because we want those. Those are useful for improving the surrounding environs, and although our environment is already pretty decent on account of these crops, improving it yet further certainly couldn't hurt. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Place down a couple of fur rugs in various places. Why? Oh, wait, yeah, that's right, wait. How long before this sleeping quarters is done? Some things need to be put down in it. What things need to be put into it? It's already got all its beds. I don't know. Have they updated the dresses so that they actually do something, I wonder? Let's have a look. Speaking of which, I may as well point out this is the crafting menu. This is how you get the things that you need. So let's have a look. A wooden dresser for storing things. Step 2. Acquire personal possessions. I wonder. Anyway. But I don't really need anything from them at the moment. What I do need to do, make sure that they're putting things in these chests, in these large crates here. So that they're making use of the space, at least somewhat. Looks Looks like they're not going to be making too much use of it right now, though, because apparently we don't have very much food. I'm surprised by that. That should not be the case. We should have plenty of food. I'm actually... Okay, so what all is on our stockpile, then, I wonder? Looks like there's plenty of food there. Well, let's jettison it. Let's get the food out of this stockpile. Now. That's why I built the granary. I built it so you can store things in it, you know? Does that not make sense? Does that not compute with y'all? One thing I'm not entirely clear on is not the X-ray. I'm clear on the X-ray mostly. Is building. I'm not entirely clear why building takes such a long time. And why it takes so much effort and, well, frankly, so much waiting around in order to get a relatively simple building like this sleeping quarters built. I am thankful when they do get built, but okay, like right now? Excellent. Great. Fantastic. Now our minions will be able to sleep, which will be excellent. And I can assign someone to this dacha finally. I will assign Ihor Shvets. I'll assign him to that dacha. Dacha? Dacha. D-A-C-H-A. Dacha. There's your bit of random Russian grammar for the day. The CH, or what looks like an upside-down H in Russian, Ukrainian, and the like, is actually pronounced cha. And is a separate letter in those alphabets. Bet you didn't know that before. Now you do. And while we're at it, I'm going to pontificate a little, and not about religion for once, but about the Russian alphabet. Okay, so, you know those backwards R's and those kind of weird-shaped letters that you find in Russian all over the place? Well, let's talk a little about what each of those means. So the backwards R is not at all related to R as we know it in English, or in the Latin alphabet. No, that sound is actually Ya, Y-A. So, when you see backwards R, that's pronounced Ya. There's also another letter that's related to it that looks like an I and an O with a line between them. That would be U. Y-U. And then there is... Actually, let me draw some of these for you quickly. That's the fun part about being able to build with this. There's all kinds of tools in this. Okay, you have... Yeah, let's show some of the tools in this. So you have like a wall tool here, and they're not going to build this immediately until you tell them to build, which I'm not going to. You have a wall tool, you have a roof tool, and the roof tool allows you to... Well, okay. So you see this? Now, watch what I do with it. Okay. Okay, so I select the roof. Like so. And you can just change the level of it. You can change... It used to be a little different. I used to be able to do more with it somehow. You can drag it forwards and backwards. If I could just... They're a little sensitive, it seems. Which can be useful for some effects. For instance, like this. That can be a useful effect. You can also remove the walls, although... It won't work as well sometimes. When it turns red, that means you can't build it that way, so you have to keep the drop walls, at least sometimes. But, I mean, you can do some very interesting things with that. But I'm going to delete this building here. And I'm actually not going to pontificate on Russian vocabulary right now. It's just, why? Even I don't need that. I just take a strange fascination with it. For absolutely no good reason. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to plant some berry bushes to improve the look of our dacha. And maybe to get some more berry seeds in the future. I cannot get another colonist at this time because my net worth is not high enough yet, which is understandable. I have not been producing goods as now, which is alright. I don't need to. Don't do so if you don't need to. However, one thing I will do, I will get my tailor working on some bundles of fiber and some leather. So much needed in both categories. Separate button for that now. I didn't know that. Let's see. Looks like I can get seeds at a certain level. That could be very important to know. So, I'll crush 2 snow poppies and get some seeds from them, just to get my level up. And I'm going to turn the rest of those flowers into healing tonics, because herbalists start out very, very uselessly. My ultimate goal is to get him up to be a cleric, because that's how you become a cleric, by upgrading your herbalism. And a cleric is, well, kind of important to me personally. Anybody who's followed me for long enough knows why a cleric is important to me. But I'm not going to bother everyone with that. Right now, what I am going to do is get a mason. I'm just looking through the colonists and seeing who would be a good mason. I think Katya Katranyev will be a good choice, because she has high body and some decent... okay, mind. She'll be fine. She won't be that much of a threat to everyone. With a chisel and hammer. And we now have a mason. Not that we have much use for a mason at this time. Actually, let's put more food in there while we're at it. Let's take tools out of there. Let's keep putting food into there. There we go. Alright. How's that izba coming along? It's coming. Almost got the roof on there. Oh yes, our carpenter is surely working her tail off. As it were. Well, let's not stop now, because we've got a shepherd's crook to make. Okay. Farina Ray's Wheeled Studio is offering pottery. Are you offering pottery lessons, perchance? No, a lot of really beautiful stuff, to be sure, but I can't use any of this right now. This is simply too expensive. I can't use it. I wish I could, though, because that teapot looks beautiful. Let's see if I can sell her some of my crap, though. I have a Varanus skin. which I'll sell. I've got curtains. I should do something with those curtains. But I'm not going to. Instead, I will sell some turnips. I've got some sweet potatoes here. And I'm going to conclude my business on that note. Meanwhile, I'm also going to rotate these fields somewhat. Growing bright bell flowers. Corn. Silkweed, which is useful for our tailor. And I'm going to I'm going to let this field go fallow. And all that'll happen once the next cycle of crops is dealt with. Okay. So our Isba is almost complete here. And who will I put in there, I wonder? Who should I put in there? Okay, well, if I want to put a mason in there, well, first I will need to build a mason's bench, won't I? The problem with the mason is I don't really have any resources for them at the moment. If I recall correctly, I had said I thought... Oh, I did, but I set it a little too high up, it looks like. Oops. Hopefully that cancels it out, because otherwise that's going to be rather unfortunate. Oops. It has a default mine tunnel command which you can force upon your plebs, but it looks like I didn't look before I leapt, as it were. There we go, that's more like it. Alright, let's see if they'll dig now. Hopefully they should. Just beyond this dacha here. Speaking of which, if you build buildings, you can save them here. I'm not sure how you can put name attribution for that. But that's how I got all my buildings here, including this, which will be for my cleric. But I'm going to build another dacha. This game does not run great on my machine, as you can see. For many reasons. Which I'm not going to get into right now. But this is it turned down to min settings, but it's a wonderful game, and I definitely wanted it because it definitely suited things that I was looking for in a game. So I'll plop that dacha right there. I modeled it off a very, very strange looking modern dacha. It is dacha, right? Not dacha. Now I'm getting all... I'm getting all self-conscious. No, it is dacha. Dacha. I want to say dacha, but I don't know why. Anyway, this Isba is finished. And now has 2 beds that can be occupied by 2 people. And I should move things as well. But what do I want to move in there? What do I have room for? So, I think I want to undeploy that, and then I want to move this table over here. Back over here. And then I'll put this chair over here, and this chair over here. And I'll deploy this chair here once, well, okay. Eventually. Let's see. Prokopi Kropati, I think. Oh, he's a cultist. And a professor. Well, you know what you should be, my friend. You should be a trapper, but unfortunately our trapper currently has the trapper's knife. So, I am going to change him to become a shepherd. A night owl and a charismatic he is. But you, my friend, are about to enter the wonderful world of animal herding. And I'll let Prokopi take over your position. So in order to be a shepherd, you really do have to have somewhere to pasture your sheep. We'll set up a pasture here for now, I guess. Because I can't really think where else we would put it right now. Let's see. So sheep produce wool, which will be useful in this climate. This is the Arctic climate, which is 7 months out of the year's wintry. That silkweed I've planted, I'm not sure how long it will last, to be honest. So we'll do sheep, and looks like we only get 4 sheep out of that, unfortunately, which is sad, but such is life sometimes. Let's see, the stockpile... Okay, good. So I should eventually get that moved, hopefully. Why is there a table on top of it? Get out of the way. Okay. That's ridiculous. That's silly. And we've got a raccoon hopping all over. That is, of course, one of the animal companions. Emil Dunajski's. It looks like. The reason I'm trying to move all that furniture there is so that I can put some crafting benches in here. So that I can assign this to someone. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put this here. From what I understand, there are no debuffs for having to stand while you work, so I'm not as concerned with moving everything. Into this isba. And again, I say for your reference, this is on the lowest possible graphical settings. If you think this looks spectacular as I think it looks, just imagine what it is on a machine that's actually powerful enough to make good use of it. So I'll place this mason's workbench since I'm moving my carpenter into here. And having him tote... Him? It is a him, isn't it? No, it's Niobe Gavrieliuk. She will take possession of that bed there, which means she will no longer get a shared bed debuff. And she can work from in here. And be relatively happy. I don't know why they... One chose to put a table right on top of a chair. And 2, I really don't know. I don't know why I can't remove that debuff. Okay. I have the food net worth for another person, but I'm going to decline because I just want to get some things. I want to get moving. I want to clear some things up. I want to streamline some things. I think that's what I'm trying to say. This item is in use. Try moving it later. Okay. I wonder if it will let me... I wonder if they'll let me put that table down. Well, someone's going. I wonder... Yes! Phew! Thank heavens. Okay. That feels like a bug of some kind. This game is still kind of buggy. As I say, there were going to be some attempts to do things with it by this company. They had a roadmap or something. But it's not all going to come to light quite as planned, it seems. So you have anomalies like tables that can stand on top of chairs. That not even stand, just float above them. It's unfortunate, but... Okay. I'm going to want some winter worker outfits. Because, again, this is a new climate that was added relatively recently. So I'm going to buy one more of those. And I think that's going to be all I'm going to get here. Well, no, I'm actually going to get supplies, just in case I need them. Bolts of cloth and all that. Very good. And I'm going to assign Prokopi Karpati to be a trapper. Very good. Again, I do want to be clear, I do love the work that they've done, but unfortunately they just can't finish things up as well as they would have liked, and as well as we would have liked. Okay, so I've got a bird bath going. What else do I need? I need more sleeping spots. I need to assess the situation as our crafting benches go. Looks like they've got enough space here that I can cram the herbalist's lab in here. I definitely have this to say in favor of this game. Unlike other ones that have tried to do similar things to this, like towns, for instance. Oh, that's what I'm not building in. Well, there we go then. Unlike towns, this game actually managed to accomplish a lot. Is it still kind of buggy? Yes. But do villagers climb up on roofs and starve because they can't find a way down? Not really, not anymore. And even then, I mean, all it took was building a ladder to solve it in this game. In towns, no. Towns ended up getting a rating it deserved because it was not properly implemented. It was not done well. And its makers knew so. This game is at least very, very playable. There's a lot of good content in it, and its builders made sure that it all works great. Some of the diehards are sad and disappointed that I keep bringing it up, but I'm going to stop now because, I mean, yeah, I don't need to. It's a fantastic game, and I highly recommend it. Okay, guys, move forwards. The one thing that slightly wish was different about this game, I do kind of wish it could put more people in, and that doing so didn't consume as many resources in your system. Wonderful. Very good. That turned out very well, though. Now didn't it? Give me just a second here. Don't get allergies if you can afford not to. It's not worth it. Allergies are not worth it at all. Ooh. Are they not? Ever. Alright. My goodness. Whew. Anyway, it occurs to me, can I yet make... No, I can't make a cook's spoon yet. A cook's spoon would allow me to turn some of the food I've got into cooked food, which would be very useful, as you might imagine. Okay. Heavens to Betsy. Because your vills, we'll take this guy, for instance. Not the log pile. Our farmer here. If I can catch him. There we go. Igor Schwetz. He's probably been eating a lot of raw meals. Oh, no he hasn't. Not yet. But he will be soon. Hunger gives a debuff. Let's see, someone who's eating a meal. Well, he is eating a meal right now, so we'll see what he says when he's done with his meal. Okay. So he's sitting by the fire in a fairly pleasing place. His meal was raw. He only ate raw pumpkin mush and could only imagine how much better it would have tasted were it cooked. Seriously, don't get allergies. So that only brought his debuff down by 1, so he's not very happy with the eating situation. Raw food does not make you very happy, so we've got to improve this situation somewhat. I think we rather must improve the situation somewhat. Once we get our mason up, we'll be able to do just that. I do not like that they automatically save some of your buildings. I don't want all of my buildings saved right now. It's not worth doing so. To kind of alleviate some of the situations, though, I am going to build another Ispa. Actually, no, let's not build an Isba. Let's build another dacha. I've already got a slanted dacha going. But let's get another one in. I guess that Isba is going to kind of be the center of this community, I suppose. I don't know why I put this granary so far wide, though, then... I'm getting the sense maybe I should put the fences... Maybe I should make fences to be a separate construction from the houses themselves, because all of that nasty scaffolding tends to remain even long after. All because of some fence posts, which really, why? Why would you do that? How's Emil doing? It's okay. Had some wonderful dining, though, even though it was raw. Excuse me. Raw meal, gloomy clouds. Someone spoke unpleasantly to him. And Katya is feeling sad. I wonder why. What's the problem? My pet died. Oh, that would do that, wouldn't it? No happy thoughts yet. Exclamation point. Would love a comfy chair, a banner, or a picket fence. Does not want a dining table or... But she's currently in a decent environment. But her pet died, so... she's going to be sad for a while no matter what. Is anyone happy anyway? No. Not really. That's most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. To keep our mason going, though, we will build some stone braziers. Maybe a couple of more bird baths. Those berry bushes are done, I take it. Oh, no, not quite. Almost there. Look, it has buds. Ooh. I don't think they had that in before. That's new. That's nice. That's a nice touch there. Any plants that you have can be harvested. Our wealth is good, though. But I'm not ready to bring one in. We already have plenty of settlers who are capable of hauling. And building. Mining, even. But they're not. And I don't know why, and I don't think it has anything to do with the sheer fact... Okay. There are exclamation points hovering over it. That should probably help us learn something. It's not paused. So what does it need? It needs wood, and it needs a bunch of furniture. What are we getting held up on? Ah, we don't have enough wood logs. That's why. Okay. Harvesting wood is easy. And this probably... Ooh. This probably is why the Arctic is not the preferred environment of the Ascendancy. Yeah, there's 3 tribes. I should have shown that off. But I didn't. Maybe next time I will. Gonna sell that Varanus meat because while it is valuable and probably good for cooking and all that, it is also very valuable and we need money more at the moment. I do actually have a bow. I'd better make use of that. Turn one of my footmen into an archer, because it will be good to have that. But now that I've sold some of that, is there anything I can use? Nothing I can't make myself, I don't think. You have fun, though. Thank you, Just Vexed. Let's do some weaving instead. Weave a few bolts. And turn the fibers that we've got into useful spools of thread. We're gonna need winter worker outfits, but we're going to need bolts of cloth in order to do that now, aren't we? Let's craft 4 of those, and then we will be able to hopefully stitch something together. We've got wool bundles, though. Oops. Okay. Pause on the thread. Thank you. Excusez-moi. We will craft 2 bolts of cloth, and from that, craft a winter worker outfit. Yes, I think that's the way we want to go with that. It's almost getting to the end of the hour, so we might close this up soon. Thank you for suffering me for so long. I appreciate your coming on here and joining me today. Very much so. Alright, so yeah, that's going to be the doorway. We'll finish up by placing those last 2 bird baths for some aesthetic appeal. At least in theory. Now place braziers in front of all of our dutches. Very good. When we next pick up Stonehearth, if we do, if there's been any interest in it, we will have 2 more dutches built, hopefully, over the course of the episode. Oh, one more thing I'll do before I call it a day on this. I will build a path right here. Alright, yeah. We'll have 2 more dutches built, and maybe get some more colonists in. Definitely get more resources in, and see if we can brave the winter. That will be something. Braving the winter here. Because I've never done it in the Arctic before. Okay. So I will save this game for now. But before I do, yeah, okay. Can overwrite this. It's working out great so far. But I am going to quit to the main menu, and I'm going to kind of show you what I'm talking about here, just for those who haven't been acquainted with this game before. For their own sake, just so they kind of know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Or I guess I'm not and it's going to crash to desktop. Oh, no, there we go. Actually, I'm not going to show it off. I'm not going to waste my time with that, and I'm not going to waste yours. But you can look it up. Do look up Stonehearth. It's a great game. It has a great deal of functionality and a great deal of activity, and even though it's not perfect, it is wonderful, and the people who put this together worked their hearts out, and you can tell. They made it beautiful. So, for now, this has been Badgerlord Patrick. Thank you very much for joining me this lovely, lovely Thursday evening. God love you, peace to you, and a good night.